All right. So GearLaunch, for as many of you know, is a e-commerce platform where we take care of the entire back end for you, from production to fulfillment to customer service. And so we're really your partner to make sure that your business can grow successfully. Our CEO, Thatcher, actually is in Europe right now, as one of the things we're looking forward to this year is being able to expand to customers there as well. And with that, I wanted to connect you all to Praneet Wadge. He is on our product team here, and he's going to be the one who takes you all through this feature that we're really looking forward to sharing with you. So just hang on a moment, and he is going to be next up.
My name is Praneet. I work on the product team here at GearLaunch, and we're really excited to show you our newest feature. So I might have let out the cat in the bag here as to what this new feature is, but as you can see, I'm on my store, and you'll see that I've added a menu. Now, stepping back a bit, why is menu important? Well, one of the key values that we share here at GearLaunch is to help our sellers build their own brands. We have to make sure that the brand truly reflects, and your store truly reflects who your brand is and what you're selling. So one of our most requested items towards this goal has been menu navigation on stores, and that's why we've built it out for you now. So what are the benefits of actually having a menu now? Well, first thing you can do is target specific niches, markets, audiences with your menu. You can draw attention and promote the particular campaigns or storefront categories that you want your buyers to view and enjoy. Especially giving your buyers a high-level menu item at the very top will help with great discoverability. The second thing that menu brings is organization to your store. For example, my store here is all the different literature products that I want to sell. In my store, my buyers can come and search for these different literature products by genre or by authors. Now, how exactly did I put this menu together? Well, let me dive into that. So if I go back into my GearLaunch platform, and if I go to the Storefronts tab, you'll see that a new menu tab has opened up. Now, I'll jump into menu in just a second, but the first step that you have to realize is that you have to create different storefront pages. Storefront pages are effectively a way to categorize the various different campaigns that you have all into one direct link. In this case, for example, I've created this Shakespeare storefront page, named it, given it its unique path. I can also design the specific Shakespeare storefront page. And the most important thing is that I've added the campaign tag Shakespeare. So all campaigns that have this tag attached to them will now appear on this page. So going back and then diving into my menu tab, I'm given the option to actually compose and compile all those different pages in different menu items. There's two unique types of menu items that you can add to your menu for your store. The first thing you can do is add a direct page. So here I can select the page that I want to link to. In this case, for example, let's say I want to, promote my Shakespeare products especially. So I want to make sure that Shakespeare is a high-level menu item. So you can go ahead and add Shakespeare and click on Save. In this case, you can also see that I've arranged my different store categories by genre and by author. One thing I can also do is create a new submenu that composes various other categories. In this case, let's say I want to create a new submenu for books or let's say authors from the 1800s. Once I've created this submenu, I can click Save and then add specific pages to it. So here, under the submenu item, I want to link to all my Mark Twain merchandise and also my Arthur Conan Doyle merchandise. And then there you have it. One thing I can also do is actually rearrange the various menu items that are going to show up in my menu. In this case, let's say I want Shakespeare to be front and center. So I'll put Shakespeare at the very top. Now that this has been saved, I can go back to my store and click Refresh. In just a few seconds, I was able to create this menu. I can go to my Shakespeare page, which will show up all the pages, campaigns that have my Shakespeare tag. You'll notice that there's multiple pathways to get here. I can go to my Shakespeare page, or I can go to authors and Shakespeare as well. I can also go to the submenu I just created, and for example, click on Mark Twain. This will take me to my Mark Twain page. My Arthur C. Conan Doyle page, which will take me to my Sherlock Holmes page. If I go to all literature, all of my different campaigns will appear. And that's because the tags I've used for my all literature storefront page are Sherlock and Twain and Shakespeare. So now a couple of tips. First tip is that you probably want to change the order in which products display in your storefront page. For example, you might want to place your best-selling items or your lowest priced items first. To do this, if you jump into a specific campaign page, so in your GearLaunch platform, go to Campaigns, go to the specific campaign you want, and then go to Design. Here, you can drag and drop the different designs that you want to have appear in different products. Second item that you want to modify, or the second tip that we'd like to give you, is to create a minimal number of categories. And the reason for this is, despite the advantages of having storefront pages and being able to consolidate and put together different campaigns, research has shown that if you give your buyers too many options, you face a problem of choice overload or analysis paralysis. When there's too many items and too many things for the author to click, for the buyer to click on and choose, it's very possible that sometimes they might choose nothing at all. So do be very cognizant about what you're displaying to your user and how exactly you're organizing your information. The third tip we want to give you is to test the buyer journey and provide multiple pathways to the same product. You don't necessarily want to lead your customers only down one pathway to find it because it might not be natural to them or how they have been approaching and exploring your store. The most instinctive purchase path could be incredibly different from the way you've set up your menu. So to do that and to make sure that your products are discoverable, it's advisable that you use, maybe 2 different links or 3 different ways of finding your product. In this case, I can go to Shakespeare by clicking on the high-level store menu. I can go to it from my authors tab. And for example, I can also go to it from my drama tab page, which also includes that same product, except through a different pathway. Now some frequently asked questions. Will my menu work on mobile? Yes. We have designed our menu to be fully responsive. So as you can see, as they get smaller and smaller, my menu will first collapse into this more. And then if I go further, it'll collapse into a hamburger menu. This is what your mobile users will see. A second frequently asked question, will my current advertising links still work? Yes, you don't have to change anything about those different ads and links that you're using. All the links for these different storefront pages are the same exact ones that you had before. Menu has made no difference to those. Third question, when will a menu actually go live? As you can see, this menu tab will be the first thing that you see when menu goes live. And our plan to release menu is by the end of this week. So stay tuned and happy selling, everyone.
Great. Thank you, Praneet. I'm seeing one question, which is, how did we come up with this particular feature? Did you see that there were a lot of people who had expressed interest in it? And what do you see as the value for our platform and for the partners on our platform?
That's a phenomenal question. So I'll address it in 2 ways. The first question was specifically, how did we come up with the idea for this feature, and was it requested? And the short answer is yes. Many people had been asking us to add this sort of feature because they wanted to actually organize their stores. What they were finding was that, hey, there's a lot of disparate pages, there's a lot of disparate campaigns. Each time I have to link one specific campaign to a specific ad. What I'd rather do is just give them one single place to come to for a variety of campaigns, for a variety of different categories of products. And a way to organize that, of course, is through a menu. Now, the second point was also about general discoverability. A lot of the things that sellers are doing were sometimes in the description field or in their actual campaign, they would be adding different links to different campaigns. So for example, if I was interested in a Shakespeare product, but my seller also wanted to show me another Shakespeare product, they would have to add the link here initially. Now, instead of doing that, they can actually just point to the page directly from the very top. Now, in terms of value for both your buyers and sellers and for the users of our platform, it comes down to, once again, like I said, discoverability. Right? We want to ensure that your brand and your store reflects exactly your values and the different products that you have in the most discoverable manner. We want to make sure that when buyers come to your store, they have access to all the different great offerings that you have. Right? By having a menu at the very top, by giving them basically 2 clicks that they have to use to actually visit a different page, it will hopefully enable larger orders and increased cart size.
Great, thank you. And I have one more question here, which will be our last question, unless anyone else out there wants to type into the chat box. That is how we are answering your inquiries. So the question here is, when do you build navigation for the home page? So some customers go to the home page and they get a little bit lost, or they feel like it is blank. And so I guess it's a 2-part question of how do you go about setting this up, and what is the strategy behind making sure once somebody lands on the homepage that you can lead them towards conversion?
Once again, great question. So a general rule of thumb is that once you go over, let's say, 5 to 10 campaigns, it's usually advisable that you start actually categorizing some of those campaigns. And one way to increase conversion is actually to make some campaigns related. For example, if I wanted to sell Sherlock Holmes merchandise, I can create one Sherlock Holmes campaign, and then I can create one with mugs, one with T-shirts, and various campaigns together, and then have the same store tag attached to them. Then using that store tag, I can point all of my buyers to just that one page that organizes those for them. Right? So once again, the rule of thumb is if you go over 5 to 10 different categories, definitely make sure to use that store tag and the storefront pages to put them together.
Thank you again. Just wanted to say thank you to all of you for attending, and we'll be sending out this recording via email to you so you can watch it again. But it looks like we don't have any other questions at this time, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. But as always, please feel free to reach out to us. We enjoy hearing from you, whether it's comments, questions, or suggestions. Take care of yourselves, and we will be in touch soon. Bye, everybody.